In this presentation, I will be covering the brainstorming intervention and how I, the OD consultant, will use it to help out an organization in need. The topics to be covered during this presentation are the current situation of the organization, the intervention I am choosing to solve this issue, which is brainstorming, why I am choosing brainstorming to help this organization, competencies as OD consultants, steps to take before I enter into the contract, how I'm going to assess the problem that the organization is experiencing, who will be involved in this process, my timeline for this project, the action plan, how I'm going to implement the intervention, ethical decisions I am making throughout the process, how I'm going to evaluate the intervention afterwards, and when will this project end. On the next slide, you will find the current situation of the organization that needs the brainstorming intervention. An organization that provides IT and desktop support services has grown rapidly over the last year, and as the workload has increased, so have the conflicts between customer service support personnel and their customers. Initially, each customer service agent interacted with about 2 to 3 large corporate customers each and took turns responding to incoming support calls and emails from other customers. However, as the organization grew, each agent now supports 4 to 6 large corporate customers each. These corporate customers are demanding and have contracts promising that they will receive immediate attention. In addition, the other customers have to be served as well. Agents must answer all phone calls by the second ring and reply to all emails within 1 hour of receipt. Well, with more people to serve and all of these demands, agents are having trouble responding as fast as expected. Sometimes a call is not handled by the primary agent assigned to a corporate customer, but by another agent. Customers also have to spend time explaining issues that their main contact would have understood. Customers easily become angry and upset, and the overstressed agents aren't able to resolve these situations. Agents are also bickering and blaming one another as newer agents are unfamiliar with the tasks that older agents want them to learn at a quicker pace than they are. The company does not know what to do at this point to solve the issues they are having. They need changes quickly, but they don't know where to start. The intervention that I chose to solve this issue is brainstorming. Brainstorming is a means to generate as many ideas as possible on a specific problem or issue in a group setting. There are 6 rules to brainstorming. 1. Everyone participates in generating ideas. 2. Spontaneous, freewheeling responses are encouraged. And be creative. 3. Build on each other's ideas. 4. Quantity, not quality, is desired. 5. No discussion or critique of ideas is allowed until all ideas are listed. 6. Negative, nonverbal responses are discouraged. 7. All responses are written down on the flip chart by the facilitator. Brainstorming is integral to an affinity diagram and encourages team members to think more creatively than they normally would. Facilitators are encouraged to give members time to think of ideas before the brainstorming session starts and try to get all members to participate. Brainstorming is a great intervention to solve this issue for multiple reasons. First, the company doesn't know how to solve this issue. They are stuck and don't know what else they can do to deal with the heavy workload and angry customers. Brainstorming would help this issue because it would allow lots of new ideas to be presented to the employees and the managers due to the idea of quantity over quality. Brainstorming is also a good idea because it encourages people to think more creatively. Any idea is allowed to be heard, so it may encourage members to think of ideas that can potentially solve the issue to the problems, since they can think of as many ideas as possible. The company workers may also get new ideas from each other as they hear one person suggest a solution. This would allow members to start bouncing ideas off of each other and learn how to work together to build off one another. Members would also be working in a positive environment. No negativity is allowed, which may encourage members to say things they are normally uncomfortable to say to each other. Due to the bickering that members are currently having, they may learn to respect one another, especially the newer members. Lastly, everyone is meant to present an idea, so everyone will get to know what everyone thinks, good or bad, and understand each other more. If someone feels very negatively about something, then other members will know this about them and maybe learn to respect their feelings more. As an OD consultant, I'm expected to be able to know 5 core knowledge competencies. I'm expected to be competent with organization design, organization research, system dynamics, history of organization, development and change, and theories and models for change. Although I'm not an expert on all of them, I am learning how to develop my skills to be better prepared to assist an organization. As of now, I am very competent with history of OD and change, design, and research. I increased my skills over time and do a great job of knowing all there is to know about OD and how to research an organization. I'm also great at evaluating organization change, analysis, and diagnosis, which are some of the core skill competencies of OD consultants. Over time, I plan to increase my skills so that I'm a better consultant, even though I'm not required to be competent in all of the areas. However, the more I know, the better consultant I will be. Before entering into a contract, the OD consultant needs to be familiar with the organization to know if taking on this project is something they can do. I'm going to need to identify how I can help out this situation, know the mission of the organization, and make sure my efforts are directly contributing to the outcomes that the organization wants to see as a result of this intervention. I also need to conduct a meeting with the potential client to determine if I can work with them. If I determine that this is someone I can respect and complete tasks well for, then I can make sure that I am impressing them throughout the interview so that they hire me and have full confidence in me. Next, I will determine the presenting problem of the organization if there is one. If the client believes they know how to solve the problem, then I will know what I need to do or alter the response by conducting a mini assessment to see if the presenting problem is the real one. If the client is not able to accept any other outcomes that I see fit for the organization, then I may not be able to work for them. Lastly, I want to establish my credibility to this organization. To do this, I will want to show/explain my previous work to prove that I know what I am doing and that I can do it well. Once the client and I agree that we want to work together, we can sign a contract saying so. Contract specifics, such as assigned tasks, desired outcomes, timeline, and resources will be defined in the contract and double-checked by both the consultant and the client. To assess the problem, I plan to interview employees and managers to see what they think the problem is and what are the causes and compare answers. I will also know what the employees want to see changed. If they have lots of different answers, then more assessments will need to be conducted to see what the actual problem is. I would next plan to observe the company to see what is really going on and see how problems can be fixed or minimized. This assessment will allow me to see employees and managers in their natural state without any influence, showing me what the real problems are. Once I have this information, I can compare it with the interviews and see what needs to be done, and also see what the employees and managers would like to be done. The people involved in this process will be the employees and managers of the organization, as well as me, the consultant. The managers will be involved because they are going to be helping facilitate the intervention and ensure all employees attend/participate. They will help me ensure that the employees are following through with the rules of the brainstorming session and respect one another. The employees will be the ones suggesting ideas, respecting one another, bringing a positive attitude, and ultimately making sure the intervention goes well. The goals for them are to have more respect for one another and have ideas on how to fix the problems they have with each other and their customers. As a consultant, I will be working with employees during the brainstorming intervention. I'm going to be making sure that all the rules are followed and that every employee gets a chance to be heard. For this project, my timeline will begin with entering into the contract. I will assess the project beforehand by conducting an assessment of the organization, conducting a meeting with the client, and establishing credibility once I decide I want to work for this person. I will then sign the contract and begin planning out the intervention. Next, I will assess the problem like I discussed before to see what the underlying problem really is. To do this, I will conduct interviews with employees and managers and perform observations to see the employees in their natural habitat with no influences. The next step is to develop an action plan. This will be my steps to take to performing the brainstorming intervention. This is going to help make sure that I am covering everything that I need to during the intervention and making sure that things go smoothly. The step after is actually conducting the brainstorming intervention. This will involve the employees providing their own ideas on how to solve the issues of heavy workloads, poor customer service, and bickering with each other. Evaluating the intervention will come next. I will be analyzing the intervention to see how well it went and if it had any effect on the employees and managers. The next step is to allow the employees to adopt the changes. Once I know that the objectives of the intervention were accomplished, I can allow the employees to make these changes a part of the organization. However, if the evaluation shows the intervention was ineffective, then this phase needs to be skipped. Last is the separation of me, the consultant. This can occur for multiple reasons, such as change no longer being a priority, or the organization not being ready for change, or me not being able to help with the desired changes. The action plan is meant to help guide me in the implementation process of this intervention. The goal of this intervention is to help employees gain ideas on how to solve their issues in a positive and respectable environment. They will be required to let everyone have a turn to speak and are encouraged to say what they feel. This will cause employees to have new ideas about how to solve their issues while learning how to respect each other along the way. The strategy is to follow the steps of the brainstorming process to make sure that it goes as planned and is effective for the group. The tactic for the outcome is to ensure respect during the process and make sure that everyone's opinions and feelings are heard. The team leader for this project is the managers, as they will be in charge of the employees to make sure that they are participating fully and continuing to act the way they have learned after the intervention. Listed here is the action plan for this brainstorming intervention. Number 1 is to confirm the problem or issue, and the people responsible are the managers. Number 2 is to communicate the rules to employees and clarify if needed. The people responsible for this are the managers as well. Number 3 is to have employees call out ideas as they make them and make sure no one is interrupted, and the employees are responsible for this. Number 4 is to write down all ideas on the computer and make sure that everyone sees them on the projector. The managers are responsible for this one. Number 5 is to make sure the managers have ideas of their own if employees need examples, and responsible is the managers. Number 6 is to end the session when everyone is out of ideas, and responsible for this are the managers and employees. Number 7 is to make changes based on the results, and responsible for this are employees and managers. Number 8 is to provide extra help to anyone who needs it, and responsible are employees and managers, as well as the consultant. And number 9 is progress reports created, and responsible for this are the managers. The due date for this brainstorming session will occur within the same day. However, making the changes, providing extra help to those who need it, and making progress reports will occur weekly for everyone. I plan to implement this intervention by following the steps of the action plan and evaluating the intervention afterwards. Following the action plan will ensure that the intervention has served its purpose, and evaluating it will determine whether or not the results are being implemented or not. If employees are not implementing the changes that were made during the intervention process, I can see this with an evaluation. The ethical decisions being made during this project are dealing with the satisfaction of the employees and managers. I'm going to make sure that I am following the rules of the contract and making sure that I am doing what is best for everyone in the group. If people seem unsatisfied or upset with my work, then I am going to do what I can to make these feelings positive. Furthermore, I will lead the project when I am asked. If the company wants me to stop my work, then I will do so when they ask me because I am working for them and I want them to be happy with OD and my work. To evaluate this intervention, I plan to conduct post-interviews with employees and managers to see if they think there are still problems and see how the employees feel about the company and their situation now having participated in the brainstorming intervention process. If I see that things haven't gotten any better according to the group, then more work needs to be done. I will also conduct a post-intervention observation. Observing employees after having gone through the intervention will allow me to see if they are implementing changes or not. These evaluation methods are a great way to find out the real problem and see if employees feel better or not. Either way will allow me to continue to help out the group or simply continue to encourage them to stay on track. This project will end when the group has adopted the changes and I, the consultant, has separated from the group. If the group adopts the changes, this means that they have begun respecting each other, responding positively to customers, and company morale has increased as a whole. Once this occurs, I can lead the project as I know that they are doing well. In conclusion, the brainstorming intervention session will be very helpful to this organization. It will allow them to solve their current problems with customers, bickering with each other, and morale in general. Once the timeline is followed, the organization will be ready to work with their customers in a happy and healthy way, as well as each other.